Yeah, we are live now. And shall we begin the program, sir? Hegde, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this 14th edition or 14th week of our Nurturing Urban Foodscapes, which is a mission that we took over as per the dreams of our founder president and inspiration behind all terrace gardens, Dr. B.N.Viswanath, who, though not is physically here, his inspiration is very much there. And when we observed the silver jubilee of organic terrace gardening in Bangalore, he was there, and it was his wish that we do something to commemorate this and to send the message that yes, we are here. We have completed 25 years of organic terrace gardening, not only in the city of Bangalore, but his dream and mission has spread over many cities, practically the whole of the country. So to take this forward, we resolved to have 25 Sundays where we have some talk related not just for gardening, not just for urban gardening, but specifically for urban foodscapes. Foodscapes where we use the limited resources of soil, water, and other things to grow food and not to just grow ornamental plants. So this is what we call as an urban foodscape. And nurturing urban foodscapes was the title given to it. And we have been having a series of such Sundays where eminent personalities have been coming and speaking to us about their experience, their knowledge of something related to urban foodscapes. And this is the 14th Sunday that we are having this program. When I say 14th Sunday, I feel a little sad because we only have about a little more than 10 to go. When I said first, we had 24 more to go, but now we just have 9 more to go. We'll find out something to take this forward even after we finish 25 Sundays. And today, we have our own founder, trustee, and secretary of JCF, Dr. Rajendra Hegde, who has been sharing his knowledge over the past few weeks. He's a highly respected and highly talented entomologist, and he's going to share his knowledge, as he always says, not just academic knowledge, but practical knowledge, what can be used in the farm. He's here to share with us about insect pests in urban foodscapes. Almost every gardener will know that one of the biggest challenges that they have is the insects which come. And our philosophy of OTG does not permit the use of any pesticide. At the same time, we need to protect our plants from complete destruction. At the same time, as Dr. Hegde will always say, we also need to give the insect its due share because they are also equal right holders in this earth. So we need to share our produce with them. At the same time, also ensure that our produce is not damaged by the pests and insects. We have got Dr. Hegde with us. He's a doctorate in Agricultural Entomology from the University of Agricultural Sciences, Dharwad, and specialized in biological and integrated pest management. He has worked at various capacities involving in both urban and rural agriculture activities in corporate as well as development sectors. Dr. Hegde is a co-founder and chairman of Biological Research Innovation Center and Solutions, LLP BRICS. This institute has developed organic gardening inputs like Sasya Rakshak, a unique combination, botanical plant protectant, Neem Shakti, a neem pesticide from cold pressed neem oil, Phytonic Plus, a plant tonic with humic acid and other natural ingredients, and Mycodim, the fungicide with all ingredients acceptable in organic farming. He is one of the founder trustees of Garden City Farmers and closely worked with Dr. B.N.Viswanath, who pioneered the OTG movement in Bangalore and across the country. He is actively involved in promotion of urban farming through various activities. He is part of the workshops and other promotional activities of OTG in Bangalore since 2005. I have a personal association with him, and I'm really inspired by the zeal and mission by which he is taking forward this concept of organic terrace gardening, not only in gardening, but also in sustainable living, where his bricks has a lot of products which promote sustainable living, cleaners and soaps and all these things, which do not do any harm to the environment. Before I hand over the session to Dr. Hegde, I would like to place on record the support that we received from all the volunteers of this movement. We have got, though Anil is not there, he is always supportive to our movement. We have got Meenakshi Madam, who is here, Harish Mysore sir, Ramakrishnan sir, Ritu ma'am, many others are there. I don't think I'll be able to mention all the names. Placing on record your excellent support to this cause, I hand over the session to Dr. Hegde to take the session on insect pests in urban gardening. Over to you, sir. Dr. Hegde, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh. So, Dr. Vishwanath always used to tell that in urban gardening, we as entomologists, we have lots of role to play. So he was also an entomologist, and he always used to mentor us, help us in understanding the dynamics of insect pests in urban situations and other things. Anyway, so last week we have discussed about the types and probably the seriousness of certain insects in urban gardens. So I hope many of you who are on YouTube and many of probably in the group that you were all there last week also. So it is a prerequisite to understand the types of insect. Without that, we cannot move for the management of insects. That is very much required. So that's what we have done in part one. Today, probably I will try to concentrate on the management aspects. But upfront, before getting into the management, there were few questions on YouTube last week. Probably I am going to trying to address those questions anyway. See, there was one question on the best way to avoid snails, slugs, and leeches. So I'm not covering today because my idea is to manage insect pests, not just pests. So we will work on this and probably have one session on non-insect pest management. Maybe snails, slugs, leeches, rats, bandicoots, the birds, monkeys, squirrels. There are so many non-insect pests. So that itself is a different topic, and probably the time that what we have, the slot of maybe 40-45 minutes slot that what we have. So probably I am not in a position to cover that. We will, and probably I will answer this question direct to her. She is my friend only. And Gaurav Patel, I think he was little bit disappointed last time because he was looking for management. The last session was only for the insect pest incidents, and today probably we are going to address some of his issues. But please think that we are not farmers. The urban foodscapes is entirely different concept. So the idea is to protect our plant, not to kill the insect. So that way, that the thin line that we need to understand. See, we cannot just go on using some methods that is for farmers. It is not for us. So that way, the organic solution for sucking pest and biting insects, we will have good knowledge of about plant and farming. So you just jump directly to the management. That is not the purpose. See, when we conduct this kind of session and webinars, our idea is the one person who is not knowing anything about the crops, anything about gardening. So the maybe 99 maybe having very good knowledge of crops and farming, gardening, all those things. But idea is to educate that one person who is not knowing anything and expect him to start gardening tomorrow morning. That is the expectation. So anyway, we are having the answers for your questions today. Similarly, of course, mealybugs, how to manage mealybugs and other things. How mealybugs move. Probably we will. I hope that I remember there and answer that question. Ring spots on papaya. So ring spot is an virus or maybe a bacterial spot. But if it is there, none of the plant pathogens are human pathogens. So that way, it is an entirely different, nothing to do with insect pests, except that certain insects are vectors of the ring spot virus. Next week is the session for managing the crop diseases. See, I have requested one of my juniors, Dr. Gurudat Hegde. So he's a very good plant pathologist. So he will spend 1 hour with us, and probably he is going to answer all these questions. Anyway, we will try to see. Similarly, of course, the mealybugs in brinjal and pomegranate, something like this. So that way, And of course, the last one is will be more interested in managing pests using home remedies rather than ordering any organic pesticide or any home fertilizers which can make the plants more sturdy. Not true. See, at least I am sitting here today as an entomologist, not as a simple practitioner. So many of these things which are not having a proven result, that cannot be put directly. We can probably share on WhatsApp, we can probably share on Facebook and other things, but at least there should be some background studies to prove that this works. So it may work in somebody's garden and it may not work in my garden. So that way, whatever has some result, proven result, that I am trying to pull today, and hope that it will be of some use for all of you as gardeners. So this I ended with this slide last time. So let me start with the same slide once again. See, the being humans. So human is a positive word. So you have to somewhere give meaning to the word humans. So that is one side. Second thing is that you are nowhere in the whole of this universe on the earth. So you are a dotted line. So that way you need to look that how can we probably be with the other organisms when you look at that you want to survive. So that way, today morning only I was reading in one of the groups, some has shared the message that we tried to kill insect for long time. Till today we are not in a position to kill not even one particular species of insects completely. So Dr. Vishwanath always used to tell the quantity of Lakshman Rekha what we have used in our houses is so much that by this time probably the cockroaches should have been extinct. Nothing happened. So cockroaches are still there. So that way they will become little more aggressive and little more tolerant. So if you use that kind of the measures to manage them, it is not possible. You cannot put pressure there. So you have to at least as urbanites, you have to be with them. Try to understand and keep the numbers under check. So that is the whole idea of urban foodscapes, that we are little different from farmers. So that's what we need to look at it based on my uh, maybe as a farmer experience, as a farmer, or at least as a student of agriculture for some time, being an entomologist, or being in this urban foodscapes or organic terrace gardening movement from last 15 years. What I am trying to put it today is that what we have learned in an agriculture university entomology course for 6 months, or what I have learned in last 15 years, I am trying to pull in and put it in 1 hour time. So that's what probably the biggest challenge still. Yes, so we have learned which are all the insects that what we encounter in our gardens and how to manage this. So let me just pull in as an integrated management practice. So all of us, see, we are not growing acres of sugarcane, acres of paddy, acres of cotton, or acres of bendi, acres of beans. So ours is an entirely different system. Probably this is the right system. This model, if it goes to a farmer's field, this is much easier to manage insects. We are not encountering that kind of serious insects at all. So that way, looking at those angles, we will try to see what are all the major practices that we need to adopt to manage the insects properly, or to sustainable management of insect pests in our garden. I am concentrating today only on insect pests. Let me not touch upon non-insects. Let me not touch upon the plant pathogens, maybe fungus or bacteria. I will not touch upon. We will see. We will discuss on those issues. But today it is only on insect pests. But when it comes to integrated pest management, I also agree that it has to be the non-insect pests. It has to be the plant pathogens. Today it is only on insect pests. We will integrate as we move on. That's what we may have to maybe one session exclusively only on those issues, maybe taking question and answers and specific the solutions for some specific problems. We will see. So to start with, we generally call it as cultural practices, mechanical practices, biological practices, botanical practices, or to some extent maybe in the event that you are not in a position to manage some insects, their number is increasing so much. So sometimes in the farmer's field, it is even suggested to use chemicals. I'm telling in a sustainable farming situation. In our situation, whatever may be the case, that we are not suggesting, we are not going to use chemicals. So we may lose a few plants. We may not be in a position to harvest anything. Still, it is okay not to use chemicals. So that way, so let me start with some of these cultural conditions. Cultural conditions are nothing but good growing conditions. This we have discussed a lot. I am not taking much time here. I am just quickly passing through this information. Probably all of you know, all of us know, and I probably consider the people who have joined on YouTube or directly, they have one or the other way that they are growing crops and they have some idea of growing crops. So that way, the good growing condition is very important for all of us. To start with, mixed cropping. As I was just telling you, we are not growing one single crop. Ours is not monocropping system. Ours is a mixed cropping system, and this helps. Mixed cropping system helps to manage insects because it emits the insects cannot just come on its own to our garden. It has to come through and probably a chemo stimulus. So it cannot just come. It has to just follow a route to visit our garden. So that chemo, if you are growing a mix, this will be a mixed signal to the insect. So insect gets confused about the availability of its food, whether it is tomato, whether it is chili, whether it is brinjal, whether it is palak, ivy gourd, ridge gourd, I don't know. But it gets confused and probably it will think that no, let me not grow unnecessarily, let me not spend my energy there. So if I go there, if my food is not there, probably it will be a waste effort from my end. So it will not visit. So if it visits also maybe one or two. If it comes also, probably it cannot colonize properly because of some confusions in the system. So that way, mixed cropping system is an advantage for us. At least 10 crops. Think of growing minimum 10 crops with, of course, with all other practices that we will follow. But mixing crops is very important in urban gardening. Growing only one crop is not correct. So that way it is a kind of cultural practice. It's a kind of good growing conditions that we need to look at it. Maybe, of course, some pictures that you have seen, maybe multi-layered planting on one side, that maybe a tree type, next one is an vine type, next one is the bush type, that you design. For me, that we should have different type of crops in the garden. So it should be a mixed cropping system. That is very and it helps. It really helps, and it has been proved beyond doubt. So that way, that mixed cropping system should have flowers as well. Anyway, so though we are trying to promote urban foodscapes, we are not against flowers, we are not against lawns, we are not against ornamentals or something green that you should always have. But anyway, if you can have trap crops like flowers, maybe marigold, maybe chrysanthemum, Niger, mustard, or okay, hibiscus, roses, jasmines, no problem. We need these flowers also for our various activities, maybe puja and other things. The other day I was in one of our OTG members garden. So they were very happy, sir. We have spent some money. We know that it is a huge sum, but at least we are satisfied. Now we are not purchasing flowers. So whatever flowers that we get is sufficient for our puja. So that is the kind of satisfaction that you have. You need flowers, but whenever you are growing flowers, can we grow something which is yellow, which is bright colored, which can attract insects, which have that kind of maybe volatiles, so which can attract insects on them, so that your main crop is saved. Which is that main crop is your decision again. See, if you ask me, in our house, we have a balcony. So there we know that we can grow only certain crops. And if we grow maybe crops like chili, tomato, brinjal and other things, it always gets the insect infestation. So this time that we tried, I tried. So we wanted to grow chili. Along with chili, next one, not in the same pot, we have grown 2, 3 cauliflower and cabbage. Our cabbage is not our main crop. We know that we cannot grow cabbage in our garden or in our balcony. So cabbage is a trap crop for chili. Chili has come up very nicely, and cabbage and cauliflower is having lots of insects like aphids. So aphid is a serious problem in chili, and especially the leaf curl caused by chili, the aphids. So we may not be in a position to document nicely with data and other things, but experiencing is very important. So that way, trap crops is very good, that you should have marigold, chrysanthemum, Niger, mustard, wherever possible, and they can even attract the pollinators also. So that also, yeah, that you can look at it. So it is not only for trap crops, but to attract insects, the pollinating insects in the garden. That is very important. So mixed cropping system is very important. Then green cultivation. So you all know, see, we want to have some kind of enjoyment in the garden. It is not just throwing something and putting in our garden. Probably you may have to clean every day, once in a week at least, so that your garden is not having any weeds. So weeds can be source of insect infestation. Or maybe in the corner, if you are throwing some garbage or maybe some old materials and other things, there may be some pests may come up. We don't know. So that is not correct. So green cultivation, whether it is in the field, whether it is in the garden, green cultivation is a must, and it is an important practice in integrated pest management. Please understand, green cultivation is a must. You enjoy the process. So it is not just maybe growing some food crops there. There is a reason, there is a purpose to have garden in your space. So that way, please do that. As much as possible, use nati seeds. This is also important cultural method, because nati seeds have nati varieties. If they produce the crop, it has evolved in this environment. Those plants which have evolved here, they know, those plants know during which season of the year this insect is a problem, disease is a problem, what precaution that I should take up, what defense that I should take up. So this plant will be knowing. So if you suddenly bring some new plant from somewhere, some hybrid or something which is not adjusted to the new environment, so insects will come and damage. Insects will take upper hand. On nati crops, insects cannot take upper hand because it has some defense mechanism to manage them. So that is very important. So please look at, there is no rule, there is no written rule that hybrids should not be used in urban foodscapes. There is no written rule that you cannot use exotics in urban foodscapes. That will have a problem. You need to give extra care, extra precaution, probably that we will discuss. But if you use the nati seeds or the local types, your pest management is much easier. That's what I meant there. Proper size of the containers, very important. See, a small container and growing tomato, brinjal, sometimes even papaya. I have seen, I did not bring that picture. The other day, there was one picture in the group or maybe on the Facebook page or something, a small pot and about 3 feet tall curry leaf plant, which is not correct. So you cannot complain on the plant that why this plant is not growing, why there is infestation on this plant. So you are not giving good growing condition for them, for the plant. Otherwise, it would have enjoyed and it would have given very good yield for you. So when you are not giving good growing condition, it is your problem, not the plant's problem. So that please understand. Give normal size, at least minimal requirement is there. Think of giving very good containers because it is an artificial situation. We are not growing in soil. So of course, if you have a kitchen garden and other things, there also make sure that at least it is loose enough. So in the bottom that there is no cemented place or something like that, so that it can grow nicely. So if it is not possible, that is also a container. So at least in container gardening, urban foodscapes, terrace gardening, balcony gardening, think of giving proper container size. Light is very important. This we have discussed already many sessions that we have seen in this importance of light. At least 2 hours of light if you have, think of growing leafy vegetables. If you start growing leafy vegetables with 2 hours of light, then there will be infestation. Then you will send the question. So my plant is having maybe aphids problem, mealybugs problem, that problem, this problem. We will not be knowing whether you have given light or not, whether the growing condition is there or not. Generally, we know that if there is insect, if there is an problem, then they have not given good growing condition, because all the time that we have seen, more than 75% of the questions are on killing insect. They are not worried. People are not worried on raising the plant. If you grow properly, if you follow the major probably requirements of the plants, growing plants, your pest problems are very, very meager. You can manage with organic pesticides. So that one, that you need to look at it. Yes, light is a must. Please see, wherever you have good light, grow all crops. If you don't have sufficient light, think of growing only leafy vegetables. That decision that you have to take, otherwise it will not work. There will be insect problem, there will be disease problem, and you are lost. You will become a farmer. So our idea is not to make you farmer, but to make you understand the difficulties of the farmers. So that way it is very important to give the good growing conditions. Then temperature, sometimes, yes, very important. People ask us, so should we have a shade net? Net is not a must. So net, if you are putting net, make sure that light passes through. That is very important. So temperature may be issue. See, all the plants love to have a temperature of 26 plus or minus 2 degrees centigrade. But it is difficult for us to provide. We are not growing in a poly house. We are not growing them in a greenhouse. So how can we control the temperature? Not possible. See, if you take simple example of Bengaluru, so the temperature ranges from 18 degrees to 36, 38 degrees centigrade in the season. So you cannot give that kind of constant temperature, but think of giving some, maybe adjusting some situations there, maybe putting some gunny bags, wet cloths, or watering twice a day, sprinkling water on the surface, or whatever. So maybe mulching. Make sure that you are reducing the temperature or keeping the temperature at that level. Maybe 30 degree, fine. At least 24, fine. So that is very important for us to give a good growing conditions. During summer, think of mulching so that there is no moisture loss. And the same mulch has to be removed during rainy season. This we forget. See, we think mulching is always. That is not true. Even in container gardening, during rainy season, mulches should be removed so that sunlight reaches the soil, because the drying is required during rainy season. Otherwise, you cannot grow all the crops. Your crops suffer. It is not enjoying. So it is your responsibility to provide those good growing conditions, watering regularly, not your convenience. Please understand this. We have discussed in the last session as well. It is the plant's requirement. So every day, if you are giving in the morning, think of giving only in the morning. Or if it is required to give water twice a day, think of giving. So that is very important. And drainage in container gardening, one very, very important thing that what we miss and make the plants prone to insects, prone to diseases, is lack of drainage. See, either we put only soil, our drain holes are blocked. Sometimes we miss to make the drain holes, and we put sufficient water. There is no root aeration. Then it is not a good growing condition. Think of all these aspects. Drainage is very important. Then the concept of feed the soil and not the plant. Give sufficient nutrients. I'm not suggesting you to go for urea. I'm not suggesting you to go for single superphosphate or something. But if you say, why not? Probably I will not argue with you. Because the plants cannot differentiate. Plants need nutrients. keep on adding, keep on adding whatever is required. That there should not be dearth of nutrients. Let it take. Give the choice to the plants. So you cannot just suddenly come and ask, sir, my plant is 30 days old, how much of nitrogen that I should give? I don't know. You also do not know. Any scientist will not be knowing. Only plant knows. So make sure that this much of nitrogen, this much of phosphorus, this much of potassium is there in its root zone. So I don't know, maybe very difficult, but you think in that angle that let me add sufficient nutrient. How much that I also do not know. No one will be knowing, but keep adding, so that the plant will not be having any dearth of nutrients. On the other hand, more is also sometimes toxic. Generally, in our organic situations, more won't happen. Whatever we are adding, so it is not more. So you can keep on adding something. Of course, whatever knowledge that we have, we can still think of based on our experience, that we have come to a conclusion, whether it is north, south, east, west of the country or anywhere. See, more of compost, less of soil. Soil is a must. Without soil, growing crops in container is not correct. You are making your plants weak. There are so many nutrients which are coming from soil, which are making the plants stronger to tolerate the pest pressure, insect pest pressure. Maybe magnesium. Suddenly we say, sir, you looks like that it is a magnesium deficiency. What should I do? We generally say, okay, you go and add a little bit, maybe 1 gram in a liter of water, drench it or something with magnesium sulfate or the Epsom salt. We generally say that we know the difficulties, that it is not easy for a gardener to supply all these nutrients to the compost. But think of having this kind of balance, so that all different type of nutrients are added. Something, the complete plant nutrition, maybe animal manure, vermicompost, leaf powder or cocoa peat, plant cakes, biofertilizers, rock phosphate, humic acid, all these things. Keep on adding. So once in a while, maybe every Saturday, every Sunday, that you make sure that the plants get something. Then what is the problem? The plants enjoy all the liquid nutrients. See, we have Panchagavya, we have Jivamrita or Amrit Jal, or maybe cow urine, not fresh. It has to be processed. So there is a process that we have discussed. There's plenty of information available, and you can just go back and read. But use it, apply it. At least after 50 days, up to 50 days, probably you are using the solid compost. Fine. Liquid compost required for better flowering, for better fruit set, growth of the fruits, the coloring of the fruits. Suddenly somebody said, my tomato fruits are not ripening. We don't know that particular nutrition or the nutrients required for the ripening of tomato may not be there. At least today's topic, insect pest management, it gives the plants that kind of tolerance, robustness, robust growth, so that it can keep the numbers less or tolerate the pest pressure. That is where, or the Pythonic Plus, you can use it. Say this is a liquid nutrient. You can use maybe 5 ml per liter. Keep on adding at least once in 15 days, once in a fortnight, not every day. Very important to make the plants get sufficient. Repotting, many times we miss many perennial plants. We may not be repotting in tomato, we may not be repotting in maybe palak, coriander and other things. At least I am just generally putting it, maybe some perennial curry leaf, at least once in 2 years. Your hibiscus, your crotons, once in a year at least. Think of repotting, so that you can prune the roots. More feeding roots will come. This makes the plant stronger to tolerate the pest pressure. Proper staking, proper support, very good growing condition. We forget. We think that we just plant the bitter gourd, we plant ridge gourd and expect this to search for it. Or when we put one single thread which will be always shaking. Not correct. It is not a good growing condition. Such plants become weak, and on weak plants, insects will take upper hand. Make sure that your plants are strong to sustain the pest pressure. That is very important. Keep pruning old shoots. We always suggest that to a cicature should be easily available in your garden. See, whenever required, maybe one old shoot is coming, it is drying, prune it. So decide on that day that probably maybe a shoot borer is coming downwards, or maybe some disease, dieback disease. We don't know. So prune it. So then probably if you want to take some suggestions and other things, take a picture, then prune it and send it. So pruning old shoots, pruning dry shoots, pruning insects affected fruit, pruning insects affected leaves is a very, very important management practice. We miss that. So removing maybe an insect affected part is very important to reduce the pest pressure on the plant. So that is very important. If possible, crop rotation, certain insects, so they come through the soil. So then think of putting a different type of crop in the same container or something like that. This is more practical in the farmer's field. In our case, may not be that practical, but still, if you are using maybe a big container, so you are not emptying it, you want to use it in the same. So if you have planted amaranthus in the previous season, so now think of planting palak. Don't grow palak. May not be, there may not be any problem, but it is not correct. So that the plants grow better, so there may not be insect problem. So that way, all these practices that you need to look at it. So I just put some of this. Why I am telling is, see, without following the good, or without giving good growing conditions to your plants, you should not be asking anybody how to manage the insect. The first point is to give the better condition for the plants to grow. Then think of asking someone that how can I manage my mealybugs, how can I manage my this one. So we will not be knowing whether you have given good growing conditions to your plants or not. That is a very, very important condition to manage your insects in your garden. So it is true in the farmer's field also. Please try to understand. See, as of now, what I said is protecting our plants. I did not tell anything about killing the insect. I just want to make the plants so strong that insects should not come in my garden. I do not believe in that. See, we may be telling in a different. See, morning only I was in the poly house of one of my senior friends. A beautiful garden. So whenever I am there, probably I will not be telling the same way or talking the same way, because I know that is an entirely different condition. It is a commercial cultivation. There the process is entirely different. See, even though it is an organic farming condition, the process is not same like urban foodscapes. It is little different. So that way, please, whoever is there on YouTube or something, if you have any questions on doubt, first you ask yourself whether you have given good growing condition to the plants. So if there is some severe cases, probably pull out the plant, understand what are the good growing conditions required for growing that plant, start again, apply your learning, and probably you will get a good crop. Now, as we move on. So let me just suggest some of the killing mechanisms also. That is not the purpose, but how to reduce the insects straightforward, directly, probably by killing. One is probably the avoiding the food for them. See, cutworms generally may not be a very major pest, but it cuts, as I said last time. So it cuts at the collar region. So then keep observing. Or if you think in the previous season that you have a severe cutworm problems, so protect that base with a circular ring, so that you will not have the cutworm problem. That particular portion is protected. How can the insect go and cut it? It's a simple mechanism, a mechanical system. You are inserting maybe in a tin sheet, or you are inserting maybe in a cardboard sheet for some time, for 3-4 days. Once the plant grows, that cutworm cannot do. It is not having that kind of this one, and it cannot climb the plant and cut at the top. It is not that. No, it will not do. If this plant falls and touches the soil, then it can cut, but it will not climb on the plant and cut. It will not happen. So that is the habit. That is the growth pattern of that particular insect. So then you understand that you just insert a ring around the plant, So that cutworms cannot do it. So that you have to learn and you have to practice. Somebody asks me, sir, I have severe cutworm problem. Next time, sir, you insert at the time of planting, you insert a ring there. It will not come. So that is one mechanical method. You have to have, gardener should have time to go to garden. So if you just say that I don't have time to go to garden, you cannot manage insects. So it is not the right way. You should have some time. So whenever you go there, probably you will see the egg masses, or you will see the larval masses, or you may see maybe on your hibiscus or on your tomato or on your money plant, that you may see a mealybug infestation, aphid infestation. Remove it. So how you remove, that is left to you, whether you are taking a brush or removing, or whether you are taking a cotton wad or removing it. So all those people who are asking that how to manage mealybugs, spraying is the last option. You cannot manage insects or mealybugs with an organic spray. You have to use chemicals. So they are so intelligent. They develop the tolerance very quickly, and their multiplication ratio is very high. It is not even sexual multiplication, sexual reproduction. They multiply parthenogenetically. If we just think that I have removed 99 of the insects from the plant, one can produce another 99 tomorrow morning. So that is the strength of insects. So that way you think of, you see, whenever you see them, that if you think that it's a pest insect, you have to learn whether it is a pest insect or a beneficial insect. So once you learn that, think of removing the pest insect and conserving the beneficial insect. So that has to happen. So you can remove the egg masses, you can remove the larval masses, you can remove the mealybugs, you can remove the aphids, you can just cut the tip if it is too much of infestation. Whether you want to kill or whether you want to throw it is left to you. See, morning I was in that poly house. My friend, I just saw a grasshopper. I just collected it and threw it outside. I never wanted to kill it. It will come back. So if the food is not sufficient outside, it will somehow enter into the poly house, whatever may be the case. So otherwise, it would have already laid the eggs there. I don't know. I said that is not the process of pest management. So if you think that it is a pest, it is a terrorist, huge numbers. If one or two, no problem. If it's a huge number, if you want to bring the number under check, control. See, the corona has come to control this human population. So like that, somewhere somehow, if you think that if it is uncontrollable, you have to put some measures to reduce the number. It is always there. If you want to kill, you can kill it, but kill in a proper manner. Fruit flies, I showed some of the slides last time. Very severe pest on gourds, very severe pest on fruits, and it just inserts its eggs. The larvae grow inside. So all these things are there, but you cannot spray. Not practical. So if you spray it, even your organic or chemical, it cannot reach to the larvae inside, which are feeding from inside. The best option is to trap the adults so that you can reduce the egg laying itself. There are methods. So some of these traps available, lures available. Organically, you can use Krishna Tulsi, the reddish or the not the white one, the red Tulsi. So you can just cut it. You can immerse in a little bit of water, soak, maybe ferment for 1 or 2 days. That can attract the adults to traps like this. So you just put the juice there or put the tulsi itself inside. And when it is trapped there, no, it cannot just see, the wings are very fragile. So once it gets into water, or once it gets into, or if you want to put maybe a little bit of maybe soap solution or something at the bottom, it is fine, that you can do it. But generally, once it is trapped, it is not a normal adult. It cannot fly out nicely. Probably it cannot manage properly. It cannot reproduce. It cannot be in a position to produce good egg. So that is always there. Think of traps for certain insects. It is not that the trap is Ramban for everything. No, it is very specific. It can attract fruit flies. For fruit fly, trap is very good. You cannot use the trap for the mealybugs. It's not correct. Think of it. So then there are sticky traps. So you can just put. Many of our gardener friends are using this. Maybe brood trap or maybe insects like mites. They're not flying insects, but sometimes it comes and sticks there. The white flies, as many as possible. See, on guava, the white fly is a severe problem. On chili, tomato, brinjal, white fly is a severe problem. At least near to those plants have sticky traps. So all these flying insects probably get struck there. So that is very important, and you need to think of this as a mechanism to kill insect or reduce the number of insects. Disadvantage not with the fruit fly trap, but the sticky trap. Sometimes yes, honeybees are trapped, ladybirds are trapped. We agree. We have to. See, somebody today morning, one of my senior friends was asking, so if some insect picture that he had sent, whether it eats on the earthworms. It eats, but our idea is not to disturb that system. If it eats, it will eat one or two. Another earthworm will come. Nothing happens. So on the other hand, if you want to kill this insect, that will affect your earthworms as well. So that way, sometimes yes, so it can trap some of the beneficial insects, but still our target is to reduce white flies. It will work. So that way, see this kind of traps, and of course you have to at least 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, depending upon the size of the garden. You can always look at and practice trapping of insects. That is very practical in some of these crops. Bagging, you are covering the fruits in such a manner that your fruits are protected. See, on your bitter gourd, ridge gourd, bottle gourd, just after pollination, once you are sure that it will grow further, so make sure that it is all covered, maybe a paper bag or a cloth bag. Plastic cover, not correct, but if you are correcting, then you make sure that sufficient holes so that the transpiration and water correction is not there. So that is always there. But my suggestion is to go for brown paper bags. My suggestion is to go for maybe the cloth bags, so that fruit fly cannot reach there. So this is also very important. Probably we need to look at that. How can we protect our plants? So that way, still no, I did not suggest you anything about spraying. You can manage 75% of your insect problems just by giving good growing conditions, and just by doing some of these mechanical or maybe simple practices. At least 60%. If you are happy with it, there are so many of our friends. One is Shri Nataraj Upadhyaya. He is not joining, otherwise probably he is seeing on YouTube. So he has a food forest concept. Whatever comes, I have a very nice, every day that I am harvesting something, I am happy with it. So if you are of that mindset, don't worry. Even without doing anything, you will harvest something. So think, if you give good growing condition and follow some of these mechanic. But still, yes, okay, we are of that type of the species on this universe, and our expectation is little high. Fine. So we will think of spraying something, but spraying is the last option, not the first option. If you think that by spraying I want to kill some of these insects, you should use chemical pesticide, and that is not the purpose of urban foodscapes. And if I know also, I'm not going to suggest not even a single one for your mealybug, for your aphids. It is not the purpose. So first priority options. Then think of some sprays. We will see that what can be grown. One very simple organic sprays, very simple, is using soap nut and shikakai extract. It has been proven. See, as I said, probably I am not going to tell you something which is very random, which is not having very repeated results. So few people would have got some results or something. Or let me put straightforward what I have seen as results. What I don't believe others who are probably telling that this is very effective or something like that. But this one, simple. You will be having some shikakai powder, soap nut powder in your house, and make the extract, maybe 50 grams in a liter of water. crush it, soak it overnight, finely filter it, because otherwise it will block the nozzle, and spray on the plants. If you want to tell this as a washing, fine, washing. I want to wash my plant, whether it is mealybug, whether it is aphid, whether it is an butterfly, or whether it is an caterpillar, whether it is a beetle. I'm not worried. I want to spray soap nut and shikakai extract blindly on my plants at least once a week. So make sure this is not phytotoxic. This is not your vim liquid. Many of us suggest generally. So put few drops of vim liquid and spray. That is phytotoxic. That is dangerous. At least some of the garden plants are sensitive. We don't know. So think of the natural ones. If you don't have the soap nut and shikakai, think of soap nut shampoo. Put few drops, or any other shampoo that is not detergent, that is non-detergent. Use some non-detergents, fine, no problem. So put few drops, make fine liquid. Of course, if you make the problem with shampoo is that it makes too much of foam and you cannot spray. The soap nut and shikakai extract will not make that much of foam, or soap nut shampoo will not make that much of foam, or the lather. So you can just spray on the plants. So that is very important. Blindly, I am telling. See, instead of even forceful water spray is sufficient. But instead of you spraying only plain water, you put some of these materials and spray on the plants. That really helps, and you can all practice. Chili, ginger, garlic extract. People have proved it. We have also seen. Maybe not that calculative, how much of chili, how much of brinjal, the garlic, how much of this one and other things. Maybe equal proportions, or sometimes garlic may be higher. See, garlic sulfur is very good. Chili, ginger, maybe sulfur. See, chili, ginger together maybe 25 grams. Garlic is 25 grams. Or sometimes you can add a piece of onion. Onion and garlic are having sulfur. So sulfur is very good against some of these plant, basically for the diseases, at least pathogens, that we will discuss in the next. But this is again a very good plant protectant. May not be a pesticide. See, we have to use that word. It protects your plant. It may not kill the insect. What you need is to protect your plant. You are not worried. So keep spraying on all the plants. On chili also you put chili, ginger, garlic extract, no problem. No issue. So that way, prepare the may take 50 grams of this, crush it, soak it overnight, finally nicely filter it, and spray on the plants. So this again, see, if you ask me that what is the mechanism of this one, the chili, ginger, garlic extract, generally it is suggested on tomato. If you spray chili, ginger, garlic extract, so there are 4 smells now: tomato smell, chili smell, ginger smell, garlic smell. The insect gets confused. So when you are spraying this as a prophylactic measure, as a preventive measure, not after seeing the insect, this confusion mechanism won't work there. Insect has already come. This has seen. This has already tasted. So if you spray chili, ginger, garlic, that insect will not be affected. So it knows that they are trying to confuse me. I know this. It is my food plant. Let me colonize here. Let them spray how many times or whatever. This is not a killing mechanism at all. This is a preventive mechanism. So confusing the insect. So learn that, understand that logic, and keep spraying. Keep spraying. It is possible. Then neem oil. Many neem products are available today. Neem oil. You can probably sometimes you can soak neem cakes, or a different type of the maybe cakes and other things that you soak it, filter nicely and spray. Neem oil, that oil will not go that easily in water. So you may have to put few drops of maybe non-detergent shampoo or soap nut extract, soap nut shampoo, so that oil mixes nicely. Spray on the plant. But it is not Ramban. Please understand. People see wherever you say, especially on the groups, that I generally say I have stopped responding. That's a different issue. So whoever asks specific questions on our Facebook page, Bricks Garden Book, there only that I try to respond. Otherwise, for everything, anything, see, use neem oil. Neem oil is good for biting insects. Neem oil is good for caterpillars. Neem oil is good for beetles. Where it is a surface feeder. If it is sucking the juice from inside, neem oil won't work. Neem oil makes a coating on the leaf surface, on the fruit surface. So coating is also dangerous sometimes on your cucumbers, on your ridge gourd, on your bottle gourd. If there is too much of coating, or if you have mixed it somehow, instead of using non-detergent, if you have added vim liquid there can be burning of the plants. Please understand, many times even the neem oil is also nowadays that we are not getting the good quality neem oil. But make sure that it is a good cold pressed neem oil from a good source. Take it and put it, or otherwise purchase the neem formulations. There are many available in the market. See, like Neem Shakti, at least for me as scientists, that we have religiously formulated this product using the cold pressed neem oil. Think of it. So spraying 5 ml per liter, mix nicely, spray on the plants, spray during evening if possible. Otherwise, okay, it's okay. You will still protect. You need not go with that kind of science. So for the neem products that everybody had to spray in the evening, I don't have time in the evening. What should I do? So that is okay. But if possible, think of, because it is not what is that very stable with UV light. So during the hot hours of the day with sunlight, so it is better to spray in the evenings. But if you spray in the evening, if the insect is not coming and taking the food, then it is many of them, many neem or many of these organic pesticides that I am going to suggest, they are not persistent. So their effect is not beyond 5 or 7 days. You have to repeat. You have to repeat it. So keep spraying, keep repeating on this one. Many home remedies. So Shan Talasir. So he asked, I don't want to purchase any of these organic pesticides. I want to prepare. Think of growing all these things. I am not going to suggest you the dalchini or clove, or maybe any of your the aromatic products. They are all good for store grain pest control. There the smell is important. Smell is respiratory poison, or that will be very effective if you put it in the grain or in the dabba or in the box or something. There it will be effective. So if you take that and spray on this, within few hours that aroma is gone and insects you cannot protect. You cannot use it. So it is a very temporary, and it is some case studies which can be there on Facebook and some social media. If you ask them, they say no, it worked for me. I don't know whether it works for you. It is not the right way of putting it. But there are some botanicals with proven pesticidal properties, like neem, as we discussed, neem oil. If you can get neem seeds, crush it, soak it, add few drops of shampoo and spray, it is very good. But freshly. So if you prepare and use it after 1 month, it will not work. None of the natural products are stable in water. So you have to formulate. So if you take many of these neem products, no, ask them what is that. It is neem formulation. They will not say that it is just neem seed kernel extract. It is not true. It is a formulation. That is the scientist job. So if you are doing it, prepare, use it, and spray on the plants. Vinca, very good pesticidal property. Tulsi, Vitex, Lantana, Calotropis, Uttrani, Clerodendron, sweet flag, like that, hing, another plant product. So maybe turmeric, some for ants and other things. We have so many in our houses. Only thing is that you have to be patient enough to crush it, soak it, collect it, and you cannot just say no sir, I tried it. After 1 week, by that time your plants are affected. So home remedies are there, or you can collect from your garden or from nearby places. It is still possible. Adatoda is there. So you have so many botanicals in your garden and vicinity that you can use it as home remedy. The chili, ginger, garlic extract, anyway I said. So you can prepare and do it. It will test your patience. The gardening makes you patient, and you have to consider using all these things. All these things, 5%, 50 gram in a liter of water. They are all having one or the other property to reduce the pest number. Keep spraying. It is still possible. Many of whoever you have these things, think of spraying. Correct this spraying. But I did not suggest neem leaves. Please understand. So it is not ecologically not correct, because the people will chop it. So chop the whole. That is not the purpose. In case of these annual plants, it is still fine. They are weeds. They are annual plant. They are flowering plants. They grow very fast. So if we chop the neem plant, there is no question of getting neem seeds at all. But of course, if you have I have planted this neem plant only for the purpose of pesticidal this one to prepare the pesticides. Still okay. It is your call, your garden. So think of it. Keep spraying. Otherwise, see, as me, as the scientist at biological, as I said, see, based on some experiences in last 15 years, that we have used all these different type of botanicals, 10 different type of botanicals, and we have formulated this. You need not keep use it in 24 hours time. You can keep it 1.5 years. So that is, but ask me specifically, this is also same water extract except plus formulation. So that way, if you formulate, you can keep it for some time. If you freshly crush it, you have to use it within 24 hours. This also, after dissolving in water, you have to use it within 24 hours. So that way, so I always suggest, if you can use all those plants, collect it, put it in combination and use it, fine. Otherwise, purchase it, no problem. It is not costly. For gardeners, it is just an perception that we can always use it. So Sasya Rakshak is a combination of 10 different botanicals. Our idea is also same, to make it Ramban. It should work against insects. It should work against fungus. It should work against bacteria. It should work against the other type of the pests in the garden, aerial pests, not the soil, the termites, root grubs, and other things. I'm not suggesting. So that way, so this Sasya Rakshak is available, that you can just purchase and spray on the plants, 5 ml per liter, buy very blindly every week. Keep spraying, or otherwise alternate this with other type of sprays. Then some insects which are subterranean, soil pests. So there you cannot just spray on the plant, it will not work, like root grubs, like termites. So you may have to dissolve the neem oil or neem shakti or any other neem formulation and drench, so that the insects are exposed to the toxic elements. Or sometimes metrrhizium, the very effective. It is an entomopathogenic fungus. This can kill the root grubs, but keep applying. Anticipate that root grubs will come. Root grubs will have a damage, or based on your previous experience, add this fungus in your growing medium. Let it be there. So it is not costly. Maybe 200 rupees a kg, that can be used for 100 kgs of your growing medium. So mix it and make sure that your growing medium is having the capacity to tolerate the root grubs problem. So that way, the Lecanicerium lecani is very good. The plant pathogenic fungus against the aphids, the white flies. It is used in large scale in greenhouses. Why not in our urban foodscapes, in small gardens? The polyhouses and other things, this is a very effective fungus, and many people have made formulations. Agricultural universities that you will get. So purchase it, use it at least once in a month, one spray of this on chili, on tomato, on brinjal, where the white flies are the problems. So think of using it. So plenty options. My idea today is to give the basket of options. If you ask me specifically how to manage mealybugs, that I don't have time today. We will answer this, but at least basket of options, whatever is suitable for you, please think of. So that way, based on my experience, that I have tried to put a simple schedule for the garden, not the crop. Please understand, my schedule is for a garden with at least 10 different type of crops, anticipating different type of insects. There are sucking pests, there are biting insects, there are maybe other type of problems. So based on that experience, a simple schedule, blind, schedule. You have to, insects are bound to come. So they will come. They have to get their food. You cannot just say, no, 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 I will see that insects won't come. Then you have to use chemicals and you have to eat chemicals, the food that what you are growing there. So that way, think of maybe to start with a shikakai or soapnut extract, or every time, see, generally, whenever we are spraying some organic pesticides, we want to suggest to wash the plants. So every time, tomorrow, if you are spraying maybe any botanical pesticide, today you spray the soapnut extract. So sixth day, it is fine. We don't have acres of garden. My suggestion today is probably for a garden with maybe 1,000 or 1,500, maximum 2,000 square feet garden, not for the big field. That's a different process. We will discuss. We know how to do it. But for an urban foodscape, for a small garden, think of maybe starting with an shikakai soapnut extract, then maybe sasirakshak or combination botanical. If you can make maybe any botanical, then if you can crush it, home remedy, fine, no problem. Water extract, not oil. So that one. Then neem shakti, maybe one oil based, or any neem pesticide, neem oil plus soapnut shampoo. I suggest you generally, I know, but if you want to use the shampoo, fine, but don't use detergent shampoo. That is not correct. Detergent vim liquid, it is not correct. Dishwash is not correct. Then chili, ginger, garlic extract, you learn, you do it, you spray it, it works. And maybe hing in buttermilk, it works, especially on chili, it works very nicely. Or if you cannot make it, so many of us, we may not be having hing in our kitchen at all. Then if I suggest, then it is something that you have to purchase. You cannot say, I don't want to purchase any organic pesticide. So who will give you a neem seed and other things without paying? So if you have a neem plant in front of you, fine. But otherwise, whatever you are doing, that it is something which is purchased. You cannot just say, I don't want to purchase organic pesticide. I want to use some home remedies. Whether automatically this will come in your house, you have to purchase somewhere. Logically, think logically. And if you want to do it, fine, no problem, no issues. So hing in buttermilk is very good against some of the pests, particularly thrips in chili, thrips and mites. So it will work. Or if you do not have, you have to think of the combination botanical. If you can get some of these botanicals, otherwise sasirakshak. That is what we have experienced in our gardens or in our balconies. So that way, or Lecanicerium lecani, it still works. So like this, think of a schedule. What you are doing, I don't know. But every week, there should be a spray, a fine spray, not pouring. Many people say, can I dissolve and pour on the plant? It is not correct. Your spray should be very fine. Fine droplets, nice ones. So if you can do it, sir, I tried doing it, but it is clogging my nozzles. That means that you have not filtered properly. Filter nicely. So somehow there will be junk and other things. So when we do also, we also get it. So sometimes that we, in the process of formulation, that we have to use some inert ingredients there. So they will not dissolve in the water properly. Filter it, spray on the plants. So this way you make your own schedule. I just suggested based on my experience. So that way, let me just come to some of the specific questions. Mealybugs. Many of you have asked how to manage mealybugs. So probably for me, mealybugs, aphids, scales, whiteflies, thrips, mites, they are all same, the same process. They are not different. So you may be seeing mealybugs. So if you manage mealybugs properly, tomorrow on the same plant, you will have the scales problem. So that way, look at, see, mealybug for good growing condition, as I said, but at least don't give too much of nitrogen. I always say balanced fertilizer. Generally, our organic process will not have the nitrogen, high nitrogen. But sometimes what happens now, we start growing and we will go and ask somebody, my hibiscus is not growing properly. So he suggests, take this, it will come nicely. They would have added too much of urea there. Urea is only nitrogen. It makes your plant succulent. So there will be lots and lots of insects on this kind of succulent plants. We will not be knowing. You generally say that I have mealybug problem. What should I do? The culprit is your practice. So if I suggest something on this, it will not work because your plant is already weak. Make the plants strong so that all our pesticides work. Otherwise, it will not work. It will take a long time. You may have to spray 5-6 times instead of 1 or 2 times. So that way, so look at good growing condition for mealybugs. All those who have asked for mealybug, you ask yourself whether you have practiced all those good growing conditions for your plant. If you are doing fine, I know many of our friends are having very good gardens and still they have mealybugs problem. It is still there. We are not in a position to understand why it is coming. So the insects have their ability to survive. So we want to keep their numbers under check so that the flowers come, the fruits come. Only for 1 or 2, it is nothing problem. This kind of that picture that you can make out, it is covered. Mealybug is such a severe problem. Aphids severe problem. So think of giving good growing condition, regular scouting every day. See, whenever when you have seen mealybugs on your hibiscus plant, go with a brush every day. Just see, turn it. If there is a mealybug, at least once in a week, remove it so that number is reduced. But suddenly the same question. So suddenly mealybugs, from where it comes? It comes from the soil. It comes from the growing medium. And if one female comes, it can produce lakhs of mealybugs, because it is not sexual reproduction there. It is a parthenogenetic reproduction. A female can produce its young ones. So that way, so you may think I have removed 99, still one is there that can produce 99 tomorrow. So that way, look at it. See, you have to regularly observing, at least on the plant which are susceptible. Hibiscus, highly susceptible for mealybugs. Your bendi, susceptible for mealybugs. Your maybe brinjal, tomato, sometimes maybe yes, mealybugs will come. So keep observing. Now based on your experience, remove it. Then your numbers gets reduced. Then organic sprays will work. The conserve ladybirds. Ladybirds are very good predators on mealybugs, but you may not be seeing it, or at least on aphids, at least on thrips. Whenever you see them, don't remove it. Or whenever you are removing the mealybugs, no, if you just remove the ladybird larvae, put it back. Kill the mealybug larvae and put the lady. You need to learn. Then only it works. The washing of plant parts and other things. I said, you see, soap net spray. Keep spraying. On mealybugs, what you see from outside, the white matter is the mealy matter. It is not the insect. Insect is inside covered. So once you remove the mealy matter, your insect is gone. So that way, spraying soap net and shikakai, we ourselves have conducted this experiment. So if you spray soap net and shikakai, your mealy matter is removed, and the insect which is inside is exposed to vagaries of nature. Maybe a predator, maybe sunlight, maybe the spray, and especially the soapy material which comes in contact with the soft-bodied insects, it desiccates, it kills. So though the killing is not the option, but it kills. So that way, keep spraying maybe once in 5 to 7 days. Or if you don't have soap net, if you don't have shikakai, use the soap net shampoo available. Or any non-detergent shampoo. Don't use detergent shampoo. My suggestion is to use soap net extract or soap net shampoo, because that is eco-friendly, very good, practical, and helps. Then botanical plant protection, prophylactic, I am repeating, they are all preventive, not after seeing mealybugs. Make sure that mealybugs won't come. Once they come, it is very difficult to manage. You have to prune it. You have to allow the plants to produce new shoot. On that shoot, apply your learning. So that way, proper-acting spraying, water extract, the Vitex, neem seeds, even sometimes Vinca or Sasya, all these things, hing in buttermilk won't work against mealybugs. But yeah, in a general, see in a garden that you wanted to spray hing in buttermilk. So there is one plant which hibiscus is there. Spray on that, not a problem. It may not reduce the mealybug infestation, but spray a forceful some kind of intervention. So that will work. At least once in 15 days, keep spraying. My suggestion: all the home remedies you follow, at least once in a month. Think of using a formulation, maybe a neem formulation or formulation like Sasya, because it is concentrated. It can kill. The other ones are the protecting mechanism. They may not be in a position to kill. Something that you have to, because they are growing in huge numbers. So that is very important. That's what I am trying to tell. And drenching the growing medium, this is the same question. From where it comes? The mealybugs are not flying insects. They are crawlers. They are like ants. They will be in the growing medium. Thousands, lakhs. So you may have to drench the base of the plant with some neem pesticide or something so that you cannot use Sasya Rakshak there. You cannot use any water extract there. It will not work. Soaplet extract that you can do. So that if it comes in contact, because there is no mealy matter yet. So mealy matter comes once the crawlers come, look for an opportunity, go and settle, then produce the mealy matter, start producing the young ones. Being inside, the young ones again they crawl out of the colony and go and search for a site for them to produce further. Still there is no sexual reproduction. Males are not required. So that is the kind of situation, this kind of dominant insects that they have. You have to drench the plant base also. So that way, if you are specifically looking for mealybug options, whatever I said, same thing, I just try to put it in a schedule. Another pest, take an example, a caterpillar pest. So on maybe a diamond back moth, on cabbage, cauliflower, norcol, serious pest. So we are not in a position to harvest many times. So because it eats on the growing tip, so your leaves will be still growing. So you think my cauliflower is growing, my cabbage is growing, but the head is not coming because head is already eaten. We will not be knowing. So that way, the regular maintenance is required. Keep spraying. See, good growing condition, as I said, mixed cropping like mustard. Mustard is a trap crop. In my case, I said in my case for chili, cauliflower is a trap crop. But at least here, keep plant some mustards nearby. Regular scouting, as I said, you have to keep observing. You may see the larvae, you may see some damage, then suddenly turn back, see, and remove it. You will see it. Or at least in the growing tip, in the early stage, see in the growing tip if there is any insect or not. Because you have 5 plants, you have 10 plants, not thousands like the farmer's field. You have to see it. You have to spend about 30 minutes of your time in the garden, whether watering is there or not. Then washing the plant parts, as I said earlier, same thing, same process. Botanical plant protection, maybe here the Vitex and other water extracts may not work, but neem oil formulation, because it is a caterpillar. So you can spray with neem shakti or neem oil or maybe Sasya Rakshak. So you can keep spraying. And biocontrol agents, metrrhizium is very good for the diamond back moth. Keep spraying. So it can cause the disease. So that way you work out a schedule. Maybe chili. Take the example. I'm just trying to put maybe 1 or 2 example. I'm closing it because there is no time. The good growing condition, as I said, you have to give for chili, for brinjal, for capsicum, especially capsicum. We always get complaints. My capsicum is not growing properly. Same question. Whether you have given good growing condition, what is that? I don't know. Probably you have to go back and see some of our earlier sessions, earlier episodes, or see the Bricks Bio YouTube episodes from our end, that we have Bricks Bio on YouTube. All the good growing conditions that we have explained nicely. And mixed cropping, marigold, mustard, cauliflower as trap crop. Don't consider cauliflower as main crop. If it comes, it's a bonus. For you, chili is the main crop. And in the mixed cropping situation, I'm not telling. So if you target, if you say how to manage the leaf curl, aphids, thrips in chili, then I am selling. Then consider chili. That generally we don't do. But if you want to say no, in our terrace, chili is not growing properly, then look at this option. Then washing the plant parts, botanical plant protection, biocontrol agents like Recanicidum lecani. This works on chili. If you are specifically targeting chili, I want to grow only chili on my terrace garden, sir. I am fine with all other type of plants. I am okay with it. Then think of using it. Think of practicing like this. So that way, whether it is mealybug, whether it is diamond back moth, whether it is caterpillar, I can suggest you. Some of you may be having questions, sir, on my lemon, on my curry leaf, that I have that big lime butterfly caterpillar. What should I do? How can I? So if you just remove it, that is sufficient. No, not necessary to go for spraying. If you want to spray, then it is protecting further infestation that you are reducing. So not to kill that insect, that is already you have removed it, because their number will be very less. But that number, that small number, can be very deleterious, very detrimental for the plant. So that way, depending upon situation, some of this example. Otherwise, it is a very, very common strategy for all different type of insects. There are so many beneficial insects. Just for your information, see, only 2-3% of the insects on this universe, they are the pest insects. There are so many beneficial crop defenders. They are there to defend the crop, help the crop. They eat on the other. Last time I just show the picture. See, when if the ladybirds are going and eating on aphids, the ants will come on attack the ladybirds. So this kind of defense mechanism that it is there already in the nature. Try to understand, try to conserve. Many of you know the spiders, know antids, ladybirds, the chrysopids, there are so many parasitoids also. So when you use the weak, organic, safer methods in your garden, these flourish. They will come. They will probably help you to manage. There are so many pesticides, I said, chemical methods. That is not the purpose. I do not want to suggest anything. At least in urban foodscapes, we are farmers. We want to grow safe food. We want to grow functional food. So we don't want to use any of the chemicals. So it is not the correct way. So that way, hope I have tried to give as an integrated management schedule. Many of you had doubts. So many of you have probably, I don't know, my friends have to help me to get the questions now. But see, you have to ask the questions yourself, whether all these methods that I followed, or should I just want to grow and spray something on my plant and to kill mealybugs or kill aphids or kill caterpillars. So if I follow all these methods, there are so many the options for me. This is a basket of options. You at least you adopt 5 or 6 options from this. Then the insects are managed, simply managed. You will not be having that much of problem in your gardens. So that way, think of doing. Hope that it is of some use for all the viewers off and on. Thank you so much for watching. So Dr. Rajesh, you are there? Otherwise, any other question? Meenakshi, could you see Anil?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I had a power cut here. That's why it's dark also.
No problem.
Anyway, I'm there on hotspot. So that was quite an informative session, and we very well came to know that killing is not the aim of pest management. The aim of pest management is to coexist for mutual benefit. Anyone taking questions here? Meenakshi madam or Anil sir taking questions?
Yeah, I can read out a few questions that is also posted on the chat.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
There was a question around how to manage ash weevil on brinjals.
Same thing. Yeah, keep spraying. Maybe weevils are easily managed with neem pesticides, or maybe any of your combination botanicals, whatever I suggested. So it is a minor pest on brinjal. Ash weevil is a minor pest. You need not worry. But if you want to spray, because for other insects that you have to spray, so keep spraying. Any neem pesticides will work on ash weevil.
Okay. And what is the ratio of hing to be added in buttermilk?
5 grams. 5 grams in a liter of water. So if you are adding buttermilk, maybe 200 ml of buttermilk in a liter of water. So 5 grams in 200 liters, 200 ml of buttermilk and a liter of maybe another 800 ml of water.
Okay. So a lot of people have asked on the availability of Sasya Poshar.
Sasya Rakshak. Sasya Rakshak, that probably yes, they can visit that www.bricksbio.com or Amazon.
Okay.
It is available on Amazon. It is available, easily available.
how do we take care during rainy season? That was another question. Is there anything specific?
Rainy season, during rainy season, the insect pest problem is relatively less. The disease problem will be more. The pathogen problem that we will discuss in the next week. But during rainy season, yes, after spraying, at least there should be 1 or 2 hours of rainless period. So if you are same spraying, that if you after spraying that within 1 or 2 hours, that if you get rain, you have to repeat the spray. That is the only option.
Yeah, and another question is, can we spray this on seedlings? Because
Water extract can be easily sprayed on seedlings. The oil that you have to be careful. See, many of the seedlings can be sensitive to oil-based formulations like neem-based formulations. Water extract, no problem. If you have neem seeds, if you have the Vitex leaves, if you have Carotrophis leaves, if you make the water extract and spray, there should not be any problem. Chili, ginger, garlic extract, there should not be any problem. Sasya Rakshak, there should not be any problem. Only with oil-based formulations, some seedlings can be sensitive.
Okay, and these concoctions, when they're prepared, how long can they be stored?
24 hours.
The effectiveness is.
You have to use very freshly, not beyond 24 hours.
Right. Is sweet basil also an effective against insect pests?
Yes, true.
Wonderful. And a couple of more questions, and then we can wrap up. Is there will trichoderma help in protecting root diseases?
True. We will discuss next week. That is a pathogen. Trichoderma is a biofungicide, so that can surely help in managing certain the pathogens. Not insects. It is not an insecticide. It is a fungicide. So we will discuss it. It will help in managing the fungus or the fungal plant pathogens in soil. True. Not for the root grubs. Not for the termites.
Mm-hmm. Another question here is on my pomegranate flowers are dropping continuously. Please advise.
See, pomegranate is a type of plant which is grown in dry lands. Our weather, I don't know what is that. My is whether Bengaluru or that I don't know. But if it is Bengaluru, the kind of you have to think of the kind of weather in Koppal, the kind of weather in the Ballari or Vijaypur or something like that. So that means that you have to give little dry. So don't put too much of water for pomegranate, and give very good nutrients. And if it is a female flower, if it's a male flower, it has to drop up. We don't know. And you have to differentiate whether it is a male flower or a female flower. And if the female flowers are this one, maybe sometimes there could be deficiency of certain nutrients. It may not be insect problem. Think of spraying maybe a little bit or adding little bit of Epsom salt, or maybe I think you have to just go back and see the session of Meenakshi, where she has given so many home the options of nutrients, the nutrition. So particularly the maybe the banana peel extract. So they are all very good supplements for the nutrients. You can spray on them, spray on the plants as well if it is a nutrient problem. Hopefully that I consider this is of because of excessive moisture or maybe because of male flowers. Prune it. You prune the plant so that you will get more female flowers.
Great, thank you. And one question around snails, how to handle snails, and also around how to handle.
We will one simple this one till we conduct another session. See, snails and slugs are attracted to moisture, and probably keeping one white cloth in one corner of the container or in one corner of the garden, maybe a wet cloth, if possible white cloth, maybe that corner that all the snails and slugs are attracted, and you have to kill it by probably you have to collect and put it in a corner and put some salt. So the salt is very good effective agent to kill the snails and slugs. but you cannot spray on in the medium, because the salt concentration can increase, the sodium concentration can increase. You have to collect it, put it in the corner, and put salt there. See, many times that we say, if you put salt, where to put salt? Salt on snails, salts on slugs, not in the medium. So you have to correct it. Sometimes that you can put maybe a drop of jaggery, any fermenting material, so that it gets attracted. People say, I have not tried, but you can use maybe few spoons of beer, which is again a fermenting liquid, so which can attract the snares to that corner. Collect it, put it somewhere, and put salt there. Then it can be easily managed. Don't put too much of water. So moisture is in a very good condition for the snares and slugs to multiply. So excess moisture, make sure that there is some spacing in your garden so that sunlight falls and dries quickly. Snails won't be there. And don't collect your compost and gardening materials and other things from low-lying areas, maybe from somewhere near the river beds, especially in Bengaluru. If this kind of sewage beds and other things, if you are getting, snails and slugs will come to our garden. Otherwise, they cannot just come. They have to come through this kind of things. So make sure over a period of time, learn this and manage the snails and slugs.
Great, sir. These are the questions that are posted. I'm sure we'll cover.
There were one or two on the this one. Are termite dangerous for plants?
Yes.
Meenakshi Aruna.
Correct. That's one of the questions. Yeah.
Termites, it is perception again. See, termites in gardens are pests. Termites in forests are friends. So generally, termites won't feed on anything which is living. They are saprophytes. They generally like only the dead wood, the dead roots, any dead tissue. So generally won't infest. But yes, so to some extent, they are serious pests of chili in the farmer's field. They are serious pests if you are in red soil. So if you are correcting the red soil and other things from some the termite infested area, they can come. They are the pests of lawns, so they can eat on the roots. So there you have to drench the space with some neem pesticides. Neem cake will work. You have to kill termites. Numbers, the population of termite is too huge, so you have to somehow bring down the numbers. So you have to have some control measures. You cannot just say that no, I will just let it go, and then probably it will eat up everything, and you have to enjoy that process. Termites can be managed with the metrrhizium. It is a very good entomopathogen on termites. So you have to search for the mounds of termites and pour this metrrhizium there, so that whole colony can be deceased. So that is also possible. Many options for termite management. It's a process that we need to understand and do it. Urban foodscapes, terrace gardens, termites may not be a serious problem. See, more Meenakshi, that she is an ground gardener, ground temple. So for her, it is a problem, I think.
Great, sir. Thank you. That's all the questions we have.
There are some more questions. No. Do termites attack susceptible trees or dead trees? Only dead trees. Susceptible trees generally we see the termites going up on the trunk. Then it is only to eat only the dry bark. So it may not enter in and damage. It is not possible. Dry bark is still fine. It has to be removed.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Rajendra. Over to you, Dr. Rajesh.
Shall I wind up, sir?
Premira, you have any doubts? See, does partial sun mean filtered sun? Not filtered sun, it is direct sun. So you cannot have maybe an polythene sheet or something like that. It should be direct sunlight. So you cannot have the polythene sheet in the garden. Then that it is not direct sunlight. So direct sunlight is that it should just, well, if it is partial sunlight, maybe from the sides of the windows and other things, if it is coming in the morning or in the afternoon, that is the partial sun, not the filtered sun.
What about sunlight through trees?
That is fine. See, there are some plants which can go in shade. below the trees also, if it is filtering, if it is coming through the trees, that is fine. That is the direct sunlight only. It is not filtered. Yes, if on the direct this one, if there are no questions, probably Dr. Rajesh, we will answer the other offline. Not a problem. You can conclude, sir.
We can conclude, sir. Thank you.
So here we come to the end of another wonderful presentation by Dr. Hegde. And the best point was, it was all so simple to comprehend and understand. And that's how all best teaching should be. There was nothing that we did not follow. There was nothing that we had not heard of. All our day-to-day household things like ginger, garlic, asafoetida, and they can be put to good use. It was really, really very useful and enlightening. I was highlighting the fact that insects need not be killed. We need to learn to coexist with them. And not all insects are harmful. And even harmful insects need to be let live in their own capacity. So I think that is the spirit of our organic terrace gardening. It was a wonderful session, sir, and I hope all the viewers also were greatly benefited by this. Our team in Zoom today, thank you so much for joining us every Sunday and guiding us through this program. Thanks to the hundreds of viewers who are watching this in YouTube. This will remain in the channel. You can come back to visit it, or if some regular viewers had missed it, you can always revisit it as and when you find time. These videos will remain in the channel. Now, for those of you new viewers, in case you have not already done so, we request you to subscribe to this channel so that you keep getting updates on happenings in this channel on organic terrace gardening. Thank you all so much once again, and we'll be meeting again like this next Sunday over a related topic on urban foodscapes. Thank you all.
You can just close this and we'll wait for maybe a snap of it, Dr. Rajesh.
You can stop the YouTube streaming.